But let's continue here now to another top story that we are tracking for you this afternoon. Scores of people have gathered in Alexandra, north of Johannesburg, for the memorial service of former Johannesburg Mayor Mpho Moerane. Moerane died on Wednesday following a car accident. He was admitted to hospital a week before his passing. Let's take you there live now.
Amandla, viva the ANC, viva. Long live the spirit of Mpho Moerane, long live. Long live the spirit of Jeff Makubo, long live. Long live the spirit of Joliti Matongo, long live. Thank you very much, Program Director. You caught me a bit by surprise because I was trying to negotiate with you and Comrade Lebogang to do the speech on behalf of the PEC, primarily because I would have had to go out and come back, which is the reason I suppose you asked me to speak first. Let me acknowledge our ministers of religion who are present with us today to intercede on our behalf and to pray for us and pray with us. Kilibise Mansoma Tsidiso Khobale Lapa Maho Comrade Mpho Osfigile Bana le Baloko. Allow me to also acknowledge in our midst the Treasurer General of the African National Congress, Comrade Paul Mashatile, and all the leaders of the ANC here present. I suppose in many ways, whilst addressing the Treasurer General in his official capacity, his closeness and close bond with Comrade Mpho demands of us to also send a special message of condolences to Comrade Paul Mashatile and those comrades and friends of Comrade Mpho that would be with him almost on a daily basis. Let me also acknowledge our leaders from the city of Johannesburg and all councillors here present, and of course, Kidumedise, both Patiste Manzwa Khotatso, Limatsidiso, Khobalela. Comrade Mpho leaves us at a particularly difficult time. A difficult time when he joins two of his predecessors in the position of and the responsibility of leading the city of Johannesburg. And this in a period of less than a year. This has been difficult for almost all of us to fathom. And almost all of us have to engage with the pain of having to lose comrades who had dedicated themselves to the service of the people of Johannesburg and had committed themselves to continue under whatever circumstances to contribute towards improving the quality of life of the people of Johannesburg and towards ensuring fundamental socio-economic transformation in Johannesburg, Gauteng, and indeed in South Africa. He leaves us at a time when our movement is undergoing a process of renewal. a process of renewing itself and inculcating a culture of activism in our movement that will enable the continued contribution towards the agenda of socio-economic transformation. He lives at a time when we have just in the province of Gauteng passed the Township Economic Development Act and committed with our councillors in ensuring that we transform the lives and livelihoods of those historically disadvantaged, with a particular focus and bias towards those historically disadvantaged and oppressed in this country. The Township Economic Development Act is intended to ensure that we are able to achieve redress in the context of the historic subjugation of black people in general and Africans in particular, the subjugation of women, and the continued disadvantage that our youth continue to experience in our society and in our communities. But it is also an act of redress with regards to historically disadvantaged areas. It's focused on ensuring that we redefine the economic geography of Gauteng and the economic geography of our townships and see these not as places or dormitories of labor reserves, but see these as part of the economic ecosystem of our cities and our province. We had anticipated to work with those in local government, to work with our ward councillors in the townships to ensure that this reality finds expression in practice in our communities. So of course we had anticipated that we would be holding hands with, amongst others, Comrade Mpho Moerane and other comrades, to hold hands with our municipalities to ensure that this objective of spatial transformation is achieved. But we cannot allow ourselves to despair. Yes, of course, we feel the pain of loss. Yes, of course, we confront the reality of the death of Comrade Mpho Moerane. But that should not allow us to despair. As we would say in the glorious movement, this is the time to pick up the spear and continue with the struggle for socio-economic development, for the emancipation of those historically disadvantaged, and for the transformation of our country. Thank you very much.
No, you can continue, comrades. I was saying that Alexandra must come as you sing.
All right, we've just heard from the former mayor of Johannesburg, Park Stow, paying his tributes there at the memorial service of former Mayor Mpho Moerane, saying that he leaves at a very difficult time, at the party going through a renewal process. And as you know, Moerane was going to be, standing in for the expected, in fact, to be contesting the position of ANC Johannesburg Regional Chairperson at the party's elective conference sometime this month.